Losses are part of the game. You gotta understand that every single trader in the world takes losses, and you cannot avoid them. You can only learn from them. You cannot avoid them. You can only become better and hope to not take the same setups like that. They're the ones that lost. The previous setups that lost, you shouldn't be taking setups that look like that. And I made that mistake today. I took a GU setup that looked like a setup I lost on Tuesday, and I still ended up taking it. And reflecting on it, I should have not taken that setup. Should have been more patient, and I'm glad that I actually did take that setup because I learned from it now. Now I know if a setup appears like that, I don't think I'm going to take it again. Damn, the wind's kind of windy today, but you know, I'm just switch this way. It's actually worse this way. Damn. Okay. But you just gotta understand that losses are part of the process. You just gotta sit down with yourself and analyze the trades that you took, and hopefully not take the same trades again, and just become better. Learn from them, learn from your mistakes. Every trader makes mistakes, and you just gotta be disciplined and stick to your rules each and every day. And that is something that I am still learning. You still gotta learn to, stick to your rules. Some days you aren't gonna be as disciplined as others, but that is the game of trading. Trading is just learning how to become better. And if you think you're already good, trading will humble you. Trading will humble you. Like I was doing really good on the 25k front account I was doing. Like Monday and Tuesday were really good for me. Then we get to Thursday. Thursday should have been a profitable day, and I ended up messing it up because I took a setup that I already lost on. So you feel me? Trading is just all a game, and you gotta master the game. You gotta take time and reflect on everything you do and everything you take. You can't be taking the exact same setups that lose. You gotta learn from them and understand why they lost. Trading is just all one big game. You just gotta learn how to become better, learn to improve yourself, and analyze every single thing you do. Analyze why you did it, why you decided to take a trade. And that's the only way to learn from your losses and even your winners. A lot of people don't even learn from their winners. That's something I've needed to start doing more, is learning from my winners, trying to take exact setups that look like that and passing up on setups that don't look that good, because ultimately we do have like infinite time to trade pretty much. Sometimes I do be putting a limit on when I need to be successful in trading, and I feel like that's a very bad way to look at trading. You gotta give yourself the most amount of time, and just know it's a long process. Trading is a very, very long process, and it takes years to get to profitability and get to where you want to get to. Another thing you've got to also analyze is why you're taking the losses, because sometimes it's not about the setups that you're taking. Sometimes it's revenge trading. Sometimes you're risking more than you're used to, and you get a little bit nervous or stressed in a trade, and then you end up closing or getting out when you're not supposed to. You got to analyze why you keep losing, and if it's not about the trades you're taking, you got to learn from that and make sure that that's not not why you're losing. Like, we're obviously gonna have losses, we're gonna have bad days. Happens to everyone. And another thing is that everything takes time to get used to. A lot of the losses you're gonna be taking now, in like a year's time, you're not gonna be taking the same types of losses. Like, everything takes time to level up. Like, look at me and my YouTube channel. Look at my first video compared to videos I post now. Everything's changed. Look at the trades I was taking in my first videos to the trades now. Very different. Everything takes time. I was taking some terrible trades back then, and I analyze it now, and I'm like, bro, what was I doing back then? You just gotta learn. And I went back to the drawing board, and I was like, okay, why did I take this trade? Okay, this trade looked okay-ish at the time, but when I look at it now, I'm like, damn, bro, that actually looked hideous. Like back then, when I first started my YouTube channel, bro, I was taking low probability setups. I was taking some huge ass zones. I had wrong things marked up. Like, everything just takes time. Everything takes time to perfect everything. To perfect trading takes time. It takes years, like I said. It takes many, many years to perfect trading. And a lot of people just try and rush it, just like I have been trying sometimes to rush it. But everything takes time. That's why on this 25k live account, I am taking my time. If there is not a setup I like that day, I am closing the charts. Because I've learned from losses, previous losses. I used to take trades that sometimes I just wanted to get a trade in for the day. my arm is hurting like a bitch from holding this. This is hard. But sometimes I'd take a trade just to take a trade for the day. Sometimes I take like the worst trade just so I could take a trade for the day. Like that is something you got to learn from. That is something I had to definitely learn from, and it takes time to learn from that. Like it took me a couple years, actually it took me like a year to get over that phase of me having to take a trade a day, like feeling like I have to and forcing a trade. It's like taking time for me to get over that phase, and now I'm over it. I'm confident to take a trade. I prefer not to take a trade if it's something that I don't like, something that I don't want to take. I prefer not to take that trade. Like, you feel me? And that took years. That took time to get used to it. Losses are all part of the process. It's all part of the big game. You gotta learn how to handle them, and you just gotta get better from it. You learn from them, get better from it. And yeah, that's all I got. But yeah, honestly, that's all I got. I'm not gonna keep waffling and wasting your guys' time, but if you guys keep running, keep getting to the next level, and just focus. Learn from your losses. Losses are all part of the game. Every trader takes losses. You just gotta be the best.